Welcome to this week's video. You know, I often see business owners confuse two similar but different things, and I'm talking in regards to gross margin and markup. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through what the differences are between the two, and I'm going to show you why mixing up the two could spell disaster for your business if you don't get this right. But first, if you like this video and you get some value out of it, it'd be awesome if you would hit that thumbs up and subscribe. So let's get started. First, let's review the gross margin equation. As you probably know, gross margin is calculated as sales minus your direct cost equals your gross margin. Now, direct costs are costs that are specific to getting that product or service out the door. In other words, you would not incur these costs if it weren't for the sale that you made of your service or the product that you are selling. Now, to calculate the gross margin percentage, you simply take the gross margin from that sale and you divide it by the total sales, and that will give you the gross margin percentage. So for example, you can see here we have sales that range from $885,000 all the way up to $985,000, and then you have the related direct costs, giving you the gross margin from $318,000 up to $320,000. Well, if you take, for example, the $320,125 divided by the sales, you get a gross margin percentage of around 33%. Now, markup, on the other hand, is an amount used to calculate what the price is that you're going to charge for that particular product or service that you are selling. You simply take the direct cost related to that service or product you're selling and multiply it by the markup. So, for example, if you had a markup of 50%, you would take that cost of delivering that product or service times 1.5 or 150% to get you the price that you're looking to charge. So what I thought I would do in this video is put out there 3 questions that I'd like for you to answer in relation to calculating gross margin and markup, and to show you that not only that there's a difference between the two, but basically how you can utilize those two. Okay, so for the first question, let's say that your direct costs are $150 and you want a gross margin of 53%. What price should you charge? Question 2, you have a target gross margin of 42% with direct costs of $2,500. What price should you charge in this case? Question 3. You want to mark up your product by 65%. If it costs you $100, what margin will you then achieve by marking up your price by 65%? So again, pause the video now and answer the questions, and then come back and I'll walk you through the answers. Okay, question 1. You have a direct cost of $150 and you have gross margin that you want of 53%. What price should you charge? The answer is C, $319. And so the gross margin profit markup equation to utilize to calculate that $319 is your direct costs divided by a formula of 1 minus your target gross margin percentage, and that equals your markup required. So in this case, you have $150, you have your gross margin of 53%, so you take the 1 minus the 53%, that gets you 47%. You take your $150 divided by that 47%, and that gives you $319. Now, if you simply took the equation of 150 times the percentage and marked it up, you would get a different gross margin if you had not gone through this exercise by calculating the $319. So you can see there's a big difference depending on how you calculate it. Now, the second question was a margin of 42% and direct costs of $2,500. Well, you'd have to charge $4,310. And again, running it through this formula, you take it through the same thing and you would calculate $4,310. That's 1 minus 42% or 58%, and then you take 2,500 divided by that to get you the $4,310. Now question 3, what is the margin that you'll make if you mark it up by 65%? Well, in this case you could see it's 39.4%. It's not 65% because you marked it up 65%. And again, you have to run it through that formula that I showed you earlier to see the difference. And if you wanted to get a 65% margin, then the price would be different. So in this case, we take the sales minus your direct cost. That equals your gross margin. If remember, we talked about this earlier, and you calculate your gross margin percentage. Armed with this, you take that $100 times 1.65, and you've just marked it up to a price of $165. Now, the $165 minus your direct costs of $100 means you made a margin of $65, and $65 divided by the sales price of $165 gets you to that 39.4%. So if you weren't expecting 39.4% as your margin, then by running this formula, you can quickly calculate what it is that you need to do to change to the price to get to the margin that you would like to obtain. So the importance that I'm making in this video is don't mix up the difference. The two, the gross margin and the markup, are related, but you need to go through the exercise because they're not the same if you want to achieve your certain result or make sure that you achieve that result. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up, that'd be awesome, and subscribe, that would be great, and I will catch you on the next one.